My name is Levi Huffman. I am a junior in both anthropology and philosophy, and I'll be graduating in 2016, the spring of 2016.
I'm Josue Flores. I'm a philosophy and political science major, and I should be graduating spring of 2015.
In a concise, if possible, way, tell me, what is philosophy? What does it mean to be a philosophy major?
For me, philosophy is the combination between logic and rhetoric. So we study texts, we read a lot, we write a lot, and combining these two separate fields that don't seem to be too congruent in most other majors really allows for the communication of valid and good arguments, sound arguments, to be more fluid, I guess.
Yeah, and I'd just say it's just involves critical thinking, and you analyze, you read a lot of text, and you just talk about what is this actually saying. So it's more like kind of a digesting material and really trying to get to the core of what something's about.
Why would someone choose philosophy? What kind of person would probably be most interested in philosophy?
I would say that the type of person who would choose a philosophy major would be the person who is constantly asking questions, their mind just runs. Somebody who's very inquisitive and wants to get to the base of just anything, I guess, any sort of topic. For me, it was a lot of reading. So I enjoyed reading and writing pretty much my entire high school career, and then it just seemed to seamlessly flow into philosophy because I've always had this scientific, weird, nagging, somebody's talking in the back of my brain, but not as crazy as you might think, so, yeah.
And yeah, I'd say some of the same thing, that definitely, anybody that really enjoys doing a lot of reading and writing, but also if you like arguing, because that's the main, what you do for the most part is you just argue a lot, or you read arguments or talk about what they're trying to say in the argument.
What can someone do with a philosophy degree?
For me, I think it leans more towards the educational side. So it's taught me perspectives that I don't think I would have gotten in any other field. And I've really found that it helps me relate to others in a way that I can see where they're coming from, bring in my own sort of knowledge, and we can work as a cohesive team to just get through the material that we need to get through. It's a teaching tool mainly for me, so.
Yeah, again, I would say, as far as jobs, for years it's been a hallmark pre-law degree. So because that's exactly what you do. You dissect arguments and analyze material and form new arguments from the stuff you read, which is, at least from what I know, a lot of what you do in law school. So definitely helps set you up for that.
How did you choose philosophy as a major?
Well, I came in as an engineering student, found out that I don't like computers as much as I thought I might, switched over to anthropology, and after my second semester here, I decided that philosophy would be a great add-on to what I had already had going. So philosophy, anthropology, they seem to coincide with one another in strange ways, and I was pretty much recruited by my Intro to Phil professor. Reading, work ethic, and ability to write were all things that he was looking for, and he said that I would probably succeed in anything that I wanted to do in philosophy, so that's my reason.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way, where I started off as a psychology major. I'd want to do philosophy from the start, but I thought that, let's do something more realistic. But then just doing a semester of psychology, didn't like it. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, so I decided I'd rather do something I'm more interested in and go from there. So that's why I chose philosophy.
Very good. Okay. Experiences outside the classroom. Did any of you do sports or research, projects, anything outside the classroom?
Well, the philosophy club is something that we, as a group, have, I guess, a core for us. We meet every Wednesday at Old Crown, and we just gather around, and it's far more relaxed than an academic setting. And you're able to bring questions that you may not feel comfortable addressing in class because they may just be off the wall, completely separate topic. But yeah, I think Old Crown and our Wednesday meetings are probably one of my favorite things outside of the academic world for philosophy.
Yeah, there's been that consistent group venue for all those who ever want to be part of that. And as like myself in particular, I've also gotten the opportunity to work as a TA for a few of the professors, which if that's something that you're interested in doing, either for resume building or just for a job as well because it pays, it's definitely I think easier to go about in the philosophy department as opposed to others because there's a smaller pool of students and there's like classes tend to be smaller too, so there's a lot more interaction and a sort of like intimate connection built with the older professors.
Tell me advice that you have for potential philosophy students or potential students, I guess, in general, things that you maybe wish you would have known?
I think read. You have to read the material. Most people seem to think that with a lot of degrees that you don't have to do the work. It's like high school, some sort of extension in which you can just get by hardly trying. And with philosophy, they're in-depth texts. You have to know what you're talking about. Everything is based in discussion and understanding not only the small portions of the text, but the overall context of the text. And you really have to put some work into reading, writing, and understanding these giant themes that have like progressed through history. So
yeah, and I would definitely agree with that as well. Like the reading's a big factor, and especially the fact that you have to be willing to like commit to reading something that may just at times be like 3 or 4 pages long, but spending hours on it because you don't understand like what it's saying, and you just have to like reread it over and over and over. Which with other stuff, it's not really like that. So.